Hello everyone, it's Electrowolf here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to mod Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. So to start off, head over to our Steam page, link is in the description below. You'll need to download the latest versions of MGS5 QAR Tool, Notepad++, HXD, and my Easy Tools folder. Once you have that all downloaded, you'll need to install Notepad++ and HXD hex editor. And after that's done, we're going to go ahead and unpack the MGS5 QAR tool into our Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes folder. So the thing with this is it needs to be in the folder. If it's not, it's just not going to work with our files. It just makes things 10 times easier. So for everyone, it's a little bit different, but it's in your Steam. It's in your Steam folder, Common, Steam Apps, and then head down to Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes. Hit OK. And open it up and you should see it right there. So the next step is going to be to unpack my Metal Gear Solid Easy Tools folder. And once you've done that, you'll see these three folders. Head over to Do This First. Make sure to read the readme.txt. It's going to have all the information you need to get started and to start modding Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes. So you're going to want to copy these two files over, repack and unpack, to your Metal Gear Solid folder, and go ahead and double click on unpack.bat. And what that's going to do is create a folder with all the unencrypted files of Metal Gear Solid. And this is going to be the basis of all the mods to come. Most of the mods to come.
Kept you waiting, huh?
You will find a majority of my mods written out in detail on our Steam page. And one of the first mods I'm going to teach you how to do in this tutorial is some basic model swapping. After that, I'm going to teach you how to edit the field of view, the depth of field, and how to break 60 FPS cap. So, why don't we go ahead and get started? So, this first mod, basic model swapping, is going to teach you how to swap out your main character, Solid Snake, Big Boss, into MGS1 Snake, Ninja, aka Gray Fox, or Raiden. Today we're going to make him into Raiden. So you can just go ahead and follow along with the text tutorial, or you can keep watching this video, completely up to you. I know a lot of people are visual learners like myself. So, this is where we're going. Steam Apps, Common, Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes Data.2, The Phantom Pain, Scripts, Characters, Player. So let's do it. Let's go ahead and get started, guys. Alright, so Data.2, Phantom Pain. Oh, yep. Scripts, Characters, Player, Player Type Table. Just like that. Beautiful. Right-click Edit with Notepad. Alright, let me just bring this up right here. Sorry, I have like 8,000 things open right now. Don't worry about any of this that you see. Let's try it. Okay, so we got player type table right here. And the character that Big Boss plays is player type sneaking suit. So that's the one that we're going to swap. Notice, I use the word swap. Okay, this is what we have to do. We have to swap player type sneaking suit with player type Raiden. We want to play as Raiden. We want to play as Gray Fox. You need to swap it with Ninja down here. And if you want to play as Metal Gear Solid 1 Solid Snake, you need to swap it with Sneaking Suit. So these are basically these are the model files and the texture files for Big Boss. And what happens is when we put Sneaking Suit on top of one of these, it's going to go ahead and load up all their models and all of their textures. So let's go ahead and swap them out for Raiden. So highlight it, Control X, Raiden, Control V, Control X on Raiden, and Control V. So what we're going to do is we're going to then save this file, minimize it. Okay, it's saved, modded. Yeah, this is 3 o'clock in the morning. Hope you enjoyed this. Alright, so now that it's saved, we need to head back to our main folder, Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes, and we need to double click on repack.bat. And after that's completed, we're going to open up Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes and test that our mod worked. I don't get it. This game still takes a long time to load, and I've got this thing on 2 Western Digital Blacks in RAID 0. Man. Hey, it's a good game though. Alright, so we'll skip through all the credits. Press the enter key. And we'll go to Mission Select. Now, this should work for all the missions except Deja Vu and Yame's Vu. Alright, so let's go ahead and start up the campaign. A Hideo Kojima game. There we go. Our model swap worked out perfectly. So some things to note is Raiden is a lot faster than Big Boss. And when you run into an enemy, it'll just knock them right on their ass. So that's a lot of fun. Anyways, we got stuff to do, so let's close this down and continue with our modding. Alright, so next we're going to do the FOV fix, and this one is super duper easy, I promise you. Alright, so we need to open up our MGS Easy Tools folder and go to Camera Fixes, and we're going to go ahead and change the FOVs. We need to go FOV fix files. So make sure to read the README. It's going to tell you everything you need to do. So we're just going to go ahead and go for Extreme FOV 120. And these are the 2 files that we need to copy over. So right click on both of them, copy them to your clipboard, and you need to head over to this file path. So let's try to see if we can get there. Assets, the Phantom Pain, Pack, Player, Parts. Perfect. Alright, so now we're just gonna paste right over these. And don't worry about making a backup of these files. I left you with the default files in the Easy Tools folder. So copy and replace, just like that. Super easy, guys. Alright, once that's done, double click on repack.bat. It's going to go ahead and package up all those files nice into a little tight bun. And let's go ahead and test out the FOV. That's one thing that's very important, guys. Every time you apply a mod, before you go ahead and do like 20 mods at the same time and break something, you need to test it out. Test it out, make sure it worked, make sure you didn't miss a step. Because otherwise you're going to be sitting there scratching your head wondering, oh, what the heck did I do? Read the instructions, follow it step by step, and you will have no problems. And if you do, you have a very, very big community on the Steam forums to help you out, including me whenever I have time. Alright, so let's skip through all this. And let's load up a mission. So, just to let you know, this FOV fix only works for third person, not first person really. That doesn't make a huge difference. But, right off the bat, you can see that you have a much better viewing angles, and you can see a lot more. Worked out perfectly. See? Told you it'd be easy. You can do it. Alright, so let's close this down, and let's go ahead and do another fix. Depth of field is just as easy. So go to depth of field fixes, and if you're one of those guys who likes to play on extra high settings, this is going to be perfect for you. So open up the README and do exactly what it says, and it's just that simple. Just that simple. So we need to go to Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes, data_2 Fox scripts GR. So let's see if we can get there. Data.2 Fox scripts GR. Right there, look at that. Easy as cake. So this is the file with the modded depth of field fix. All you have to do is copy, paste it over, copy and replace, go back, double click on repack.bat, and actually, right now I do not have settings on extra high. I have everything on high in preparation for the next fix that I'm going to be doing for you guys, which is teaching you how to break the freaking 60 FPS cap. Me and my friend, who is Dirty Dan, have been working on this for the past 2 days to get this fix out, and we finally figured it out, and we have its tutorial here for you guys. So let's do it. You guys ready? This one's pretty crazy. Okay, so fresh off the press, let's go for it. Alright, so camera fixes, FPS fix files. So read the readme.txt, read it very carefully. So make sure all your tools are updated, HXD, QAR tool, and data unto is unpacked. You have all those three things, you are ready to do this mod. Oh, one other thing. You need a monitor that is capable of going above 60 FPS, and a graphics card and a rig that is ready to do it. You can lower the settings and you can get up to that, high FPS if you really, really wanted to, but why make the sacrifice? So, anyways, you're going to need to navigate to your Steam library path, Steam Apps Common, Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes, Data.2, Phantom Pain, Start.lua. So this is one of those easy fixes, kind of, sort of. So it gets tricky at the end, but trust me, it's really easy. Oh, one other thing, make sure you have a Fraps or MSI Afterburner installed. I have MSI Afterburner, works perfectly. So we're going to need to copy this file right here, start.lua, go to data.2, and the Phantom Pain, start, paste, copy and replace. Easy as that, guys. Okay, so now go back to your Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes folder and repack data.2. And after that's done, we need to open up Metal Gear Solid and change your graphics settings to something you'll think will get better FPS based on your rig. Okay, this game is intensive. I have two GTX 760s, and with everything pumped up to extra high, I could manage 60 FPS no problem whatsoever. And both my GPUs only had really like 50% usage, but I'm sure there's a few settings that I can tweak and, whatever, but, high looks fine, looks perfectly fine to me. So I just put all my settings to high across the board, and I run this game about 130 FPS average. and it looks amazing. It feels amazing. It is an undescribable experience. So make sure you have your graphics settings set up to your rig. You know, if you have a $1,000 rig that can handle anything that you throw out at 4K, whatever, you know, go ahead, go crazy, whatever. But you need to make sure that you have your settings down pat now, so that way you don't have to keep going back and editing things later. I already have all my settings all set, but I'll still go through it with you. Alright, so you need to go ahead and launch Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes. And just take a moment. And let's see. Oh, crud. Whoops. Haha. It's already modded. My bad. Anywho. I'll show you this really quick. Alright, so head down to Options, Graphics Settings, and change stuff around, you know, whatever you think is going to get you that FPS mark that you want. Now guys, you see that right there? One thing you'll notice, as soon as you start to go around and change settings in your graphics options, for the rest of that session, it will be capped at 60 FPS, okay? Alright, so, now that we have our graphics settings in place, we're ready to do the mod. I know I've already done it, but I'm just showing you guys. Alright, so, apply the changes, save them, get them set in stone, yada yada yada. Alright, close down Metal Gear Solid, and what you're going to need to do is go to your C program files, x86, Steam, user data. It's going to be a whole bunch of random numbers, 311340, local. So let's see if we can navigate to that. This is where it gets a little bit tricky, but don't worry. Faith in you, you can do it. Like I said, if you run into any problems, you have a wonderful community behind you ready to help. So, user data, it's going to be a whole bunch of random numbers, and then you're going to want to find this folder right here, 311340. Go to local, and I already made backups of both of mine. Just go ahead and right click those two and just copy them. So anyways, what you're going to want to do is open up this file right here with HXD. Open it up, just delete everything inside of it. Yes. Save it. Okay, when you look at it, it'll say 0 kilobytes. Save it. Alright, now you need to go to MGSV Ground Zeroes local config, English 1, whatever. Open it with hex editor, and you need to go to this specific line and row, offset 00040 and row 0C. See here, 0040, row 0C, and for me, that's 3A. And what you're going to want to do is type in 00, save, and as soon as you do that, you should be able to load up Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes, and your FPS should be unlocked. So as you saw, after I made those graphics changes, it got locked to 60 FPS for that section. And now that I went ahead and modded this, you can see that it's back up to 200 FPS. Every time you change that graphics settings files, those two files are going to get changed, and you need to repeat those two steps. So, like I said, make sure you have your graphics settings set in stone before you try to do this, or try to guesstimate. I mean, it's hard to see, you know, exactly what you're going to run it at. So far we have these mods running. We have an FOV fix running. If you run your settings on extra high, we have a depth of field fix going. and we swapped our main character to Raiden. And to top it all off, first ever in the world, FPS unlocking for Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. And I will tell you, this feels buttery smooth. It is something that I cannot describe. It's absolutely amazing. And like I said, you can only experience this if you have a monitor capable of displaying it. So, have fun with that, guys. I'm gonna upload another session that has some more tutorials on model swapping. Actually, you know what? Screw it. Let's go ahead and just do those. Alright, because this actually is kind of important. Okay, so let's say you want to go ahead and play as Hideo Kojima. Guess what? It's possible. Alright, please read. Okay, so what you need to do is go to my Easy Tool folders, model swaps. Okay, let's see if we can find that. Model swaps, perfect. So these are the playable characters that I have for you at the time. This tool set will be updated regularly, have updated fixes for a whole litany of things, and have more characters. So, you remember that model swap that we did that was really easy in the first part? Well, we're going to have to roll that back to get these model swaps to work. So, all you have to do is go back to your Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes folder, data.2, Phantom Pain, scripts, characters, player, player.table, edit with notepad, and yes. Okay, so you see here that we switched Raiden with Sneaking Suit. So we just need to undo that change and switch them back around. Alright, after you do that, Control S, save it, close it down, head back to your main folder, and repack the archive. And thank you, Sergeanur and Dirty Dan, for helping me out with this. You guys are awesome. And thank you, Devil Snake 88, for finding a whole bunch of these models for us. So, anyways, what we're going to want to do is, hold on here. What we're going to want to do is read the readme.txt. It's going to tell you exactly what you're going to have to do. It's going to have links for things, things to update. And, it has the link right there for our Steam page. So, read it. It says, go to Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes data.2 assets, the Phantom Pain, pack player parts, pick player your choice, and copy this file over from, okay, cool. See? That's not so bad, right guys? Alright, so let's say we want to play as Hideo Kojima. Alright, so we need to copy, oops, whoops, guess I lost his file. That's alright. The one that you guys download, you'll have him, no problem. Why don't we go ahead and play as Skullface? Alright, right here. So what you want to do is right click, copy on that, go to your Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes folder, data_2, assets, the Phantom Pain, pack, player, parts. Okay, and if you remember, this is actually the file folder that we use for the FOV fix. Okay? So, right-click, paste, copy, and replace. And I actually have the default ones if you want to go back to Solid Snake. So, no problem there, no worry mod. Okay, so after we replace that, we need to repack the archive. And there we go. And just to re-mention something that I said earlier, the very first mod that we did, modding the player type table at the very start, that will interfere with this mod because the character that the game the script says that you have to play, which is, you know, Big Boss. This mod requires Big Boss to be the character that you play. You know, you do the model swap, and you can be whoever you want, but in player type table.lua, it needs to be Sneaking Suit or Big Boss. Okay, so we repack the archive, and we just need to relaunch Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes to test if our mod worked. So when we get in game, we should see that we are indeed Skullface. Now, one thing to note about some of these character models is there is some clipping issues in first person, namely with the MSF Soldier, Skullface, I believe Kaz a little bit, and the XOF Soldier. All the other ones should work perfectly fine. And we are working on a fix to get that to work a little bit better. So go ahead and load up a mission that Big Boss is the main star in. And enter the mission. You should see that we are indeed Skullface.
Mission info
and look at that. Worked perfectly.
This is an infiltration mission. You've got to stay out of sight. Before you go any further,
So,
use your binoculars to recon
hope
the
you
area.
guys enjoy my tutorial. I hope I helped you out. And yeah, you can see some of the clipping issues right there. So anyways, I hope you guys have fun with this. I've had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun helping you. And there's definitely more mods to come. Make sure to follow our Steam page. We have lots and lots of mods, including how to turn smoke grenades into sleeping gas. Alright, so have fun, guys. I hope I was a big help, and happy modding.